Moved by, what is your move, Senator Millington?
To approve both the minutes.
Senator Sessions? All right, seeing none, so move. Moving on to public comment. Is there any public comment? Seeing none, moving on to campus climate discussion. Is there any campus climate? Yes, Senator Klein. Someone please pass the microphone down. Thank you.
Hello?
So, just want to say a couple of things really quickly. We're coming up on about a week left to lobby about the budget. I mentioned that the State Senate's One House bill included reauthorization of the tuition freeze that came directly advocated from this body. So, results on that front, we still have to lobby the Assembly to agree on that, and then come to a concurrence with the governor, but we have about a week to do that, so hit those phone lines. Speaking about results, I just want to touch really briefly. I noticed that there's been a bit of a feeling of animosity a bit maybe in this body. Not too sure why. I can understand being upset about certain things that go on with this body, but we thankfully keep it in this body, and I think that's been a very strong point with this branch this year. We've all been very good at separating personal and professional, but I just wanted to touch a bit about what it means to be a senator, and it doesn't necessarily mean that your impact is going to come through reaching out to constituents or collaborating with student groups. While that certainly may help, there are other ways to help advocate for the student body and create change on this campus. One example is getting this university to spend over $8 million on housing upgrades last year on a bill that came directly from this body. So there's a lot that can be done with resolutions, and I think it makes a statement, especially when our administration listens to us and advocates with us in good faith. When it comes to legislation that passes through this body and advocates for change on this campus. So let's not lose that focus and that sight, because I feel like we're trying to classify what it means to be a senator and kind of dissuading people from wanting to join this branch from the ways that we describe what it would mean to be a senator next year. Now, I'm not going to be here next year, so I really couldn't give to you-know-what, but honestly, I think if we really want to keep attendance in this body, there's 20 people here right now, and I know we have way more than 20 senators in this branch, but I really don't think adding more requirements to being a senator would really help attendance in this branch. So I think we shouldn't be fast to define what it means to be an effective senator in this branch, because there are way more ways to be an effective senator than doing community service or the like. Thank you, and I'll yield back.
Senator Rose?
Hello. Just want to talk about not even what being a senator means, but being what a member of the student association is. Just remember that you're here for representing the students, regardless of if you're a senator, or if you're in the executive branch, or the judicial branch, or finance branch. You're here so that students can see a change and a difference on campus, and you're here to empower their voice. And sometimes I know that can be forgotten because we're also students, but just remember that we're working to make other people's lives better. And when you signed up for this job, we agreed that we would put the students sometimes before we put ourselves. That doesn't mean forget about you or your mental health, but that means that don't forget why you took this position to begin with, to care about the students, and with that, I yield back.
Senator Khan?
I just wanted to make a response, because I can see a subtweet when I hear a subtweet. And I would just like to say, as somebody who does a lot of work that has that a lot of people in this body don't consider work that we should be doing or need to be doing. I also equally put out quite a few resolutions. I am the UCR representative, and again, I'm only talking about myself because that's the only person I can speak to. I do a lot with administration to do things behind the scenes and resolutions, symbolic, non-symbolic, whatever you want to call it. But all I know is that when students see me, know what I'm about, they might not know what resolutions I've passed, but they've known the dedication that I've had to their student orgs. They know the dedication that I've had to community service on this campus. And personally, that matters. If that doesn't matter to you, like, good luck getting reelected, question mark. Because people really do value having some dedication and some quality, like, people running things, and you can't make good resolutions and you can't pass good legislation if you're looking at it from above the rest of campus without ever getting your hands a little dirty and doing like the grunt work. And with that, I would just like to say thank you to all of the senators who have been popping out to community service events. I have noticed you. I noticed who you are. I'm glad you're not stubborn, and I'm glad that you're doing what the student body would actually like to see from us, beyond just hearing our own voices and putting up like garbled words on page.
Thank you. Senator, is that your person? I don't see you. I don't know why the volume is so low on this.
Hello? Okay. So today I attended 3 rallies with our Gender and Sexuality Services Director. One was about AIDS housing, and one was about Daniel's Law, and the last was about bail reform. You know, I just want to see more senators out there to help advocate for our future, and not only for students, but for university as well. Thank you.
Vice President Madrano. Jalen, can you grab that and pass it to Sierra, please?
Which one's Sierra?
Okay. Yeah, I just want to talk about building more like personal experiences with students on campus. I think that's severely important and really lacking within this body as a whole, and something that I do take account for as well. I think it's really important that we go out and we get to learn about people, even outside. It may not even be go to an event and learn about somebody. Like, you don't even necessarily got to participate, but build new relationships with people. You'll learn about other different experiences on campus that you may not have had. Intersectionality, Women's History Month, but learning all these different perspectives and learning people's experiences on campus and how they differ from yours can really impact the way you not only see this university, but how you see life. I think the legislation is super important in terms of actually impacting change on campus, but you can also change somebody's life by having a conversation with them at an organization meeting, and I think that's really important. So, yeah.
Any other campus climate? Okay. I'm gonna give my remarks at the end because I feel like we stopped listening at the end, and I kind of want to emphasize that I do have closing remarks, so I'm gonna wait until the end to say everything. Jalen?
I like that idea. Don't have much to add other than it's great to see you lovely guys again. I hope you had a great spring break. We're getting towards the end of essay, so I miss you all dearly. If you didn't get your STOL form in, if you didn't fill that out and you're graduating, you have until this Senate meeting ends tonight to tell me, because I want to get that process started by tomorrow. Other than that, just closing out the year and excited for next year.
No certificates and celebrations, no appropriations agenda. Moving on to Nathan Blank, University reports. Sierra, can you pass Nathan the microphone? Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. This Saturday is Dance Marathon. So on Saturday, youth can volunteer through the through Dance Marathon's My Involvement group through their My Involvement page. There's both individual and group options to sign up to volunteer. Just want to let you know about that. And then conversations with Christakis for student organizations is still going on. There's still opportunities to sign your organization up on the Source My Involvement page. So yeah.
Any questions? Seeing none, moving on to Chair of the EC, Catherine.
Hello, everyone. I hope you all had a wonderful spring break. So given that we had our candidates meeting today, I had hoped to be able to share all of the numbers with you this evening. However, a few candidates have rescheduled meetings, all taking place tomorrow. So I cannot share those numbers with you today, but I will email all candidates the numbers, and I will email them to the chair as well to distribute to senators if you want it. That's fine by me. So a reminder that campaigning begins from midnight tonight, so please show some support for those that are running. You have some really, really great candidates this year that are running on great platforms, and I'm glad that this is my last general election. There's some really great people running. I know, devastation. But with that, that also means that the student activity fee campaign begins also at midnight. So feel free to show your support or your position on this more broadly, because now's the time. Next week, I should be able to confirm polling times and location for sure, as well as a reminder for forum the following week. But with that, that's everything from me.
Any questions? Seeing none, moving on to Chair Rose of the Appropriations Committee. I'll pass it over.
You actually caught me in the middle of me writing it. So yeah, the reason why there's no appropriations agenda at the moment is because we didn't meet. I'm trying to reschedule my committee time since I got new members and I want them all to be able to attend so they can vote on things. But for me, I'm working on creating a Microsoft Teams for the Appropriations Committee because recently, like when I'm on the Board of Finance and we're trying to get like the records of which groups the 2 semesters are doing unfunded, I want a better tracking system of that for the next appropriations check. It's really hard for me to figure that out. So I'm working on that. There's just so many documents, so it's going to take me a while. I'm also working on my transition binder, which is a reminder that any head of a branch or director or chair to have one of those, so that's easy at the end of the year, so that the next people coming in can have a smooth and easy acceptance into their position. And I think that was it. I'm also giving the Board of Finance report, but that's later.
Okay. All transition binders from the executive board, all branch leaders, the president and the vice president, and myself are due to me by April 19th. So make sure you get those to me. Moving on to Chair McGrath of the Rules Committee.
We didn't get to meet this week because our normal meeting time is on Sunday, and that was a spring break time. But I did review some legislation this week, and we will be reviewing some more left over from our last meeting at this upcoming Sunday. Our meeting is going to be Sunday, 2:30 on Zoom. Anybody who's interested in coming, just let me know and I will send you the Zoom link. Really, really simple. And then it also, I realized this week that maybe we haven't, as a body, been as clear about how to actually write bylaw changes as I thought we were going to be. So it's definitely something I'm looking into adjusting to make it easier for people who are newer to do that. But if anybody has any questions at any time about anything at all, even casually, even just like a random little tiny question, it won't bother me. I love to just look this out. So feel free to reach out anytime. But other than that, nothing else to report.
Any questions? Seeing none. Senator Archer, Chair of CR. Is this your first report?
Yes.
I think it is. Yeah, let's go.
Hi guys, bear with me. I have pain in my tooth. My wisdom teeth was taken out. So the Constituent Relations Committee has started budget appeal hearings. So far, we have met with 9 orgs this week. We have 9 more orgs to meet with. Next week, we have 12 orgs scheduled to meet. We still have like 9 or 10 organizations that still have not scheduled budget appeal hearings. Other than that, the committee and I decided that we really want to be wrapped up with all the budget appeal hearings and have all memo of recommendations written and sent to BOF by the 31st of March. If not the 31st, like the first week of April. Other than that, that's really it for me.
Any questions? Seeing none, moving on to Senator Zhang, Chair of the Subcommittee on FYE. Oh, sorry, Sella. I'll come back to you.
Our first year experience town hall would be in the next 2 weeks because next week I'm still doing budget appeals, and I figured out everyone's state and indigenous availability, and we all seem to have the same availability at Thursday at 7 p.m. So that's when the town hall will be. And a location hasn't been determined yet, so I'll give a report next week about the location.
What day is it again?
It's April 6th.
Okay. And time is 7? Okay, thank you. Any questions for Jeremy? All right, so bringing it back to you, Chair of CEO. My apologies.
You want to give First and foremost, I wanted to wish a Ramadan Mubarak to everybody who celebrates. Very exciting that sunset is not at like 9 p.m. anymore. So a win is a win. And in the spirit of Ramadan, I will say that a huge part of it is doing charity, community work, etc., etc. So I will be keeping my eye open for things. I will be sending them to you all. Thank you again for those who've been coming to the events that we've been posting in the group chat. I'm hoping to streamline how we do that into like a weekly email thing or something like that for my transition to the next chair. I have not been able to reach out to my committee, and that is so on me, so I'm very sorry. I will be doing that hopefully tomorrow. And then also working with the other sponsors of the community service bill, as well as the rules and admin committee. Because there's just some like bylaw thingies that are bylawing, and if you have any input that you would like to send to me in a professional and productive capacity, you can send it to senceo@albany.edu, and I will check that. Thank you.
Any questions for Chair of CEO? Seeing none, moving on to Senator Jamil, Chair of Ethics. I think so. Okay. Thank you.
Hi guys. So we had 4 investigative questions today for ethics, and we're planning to have another one on Thursday. And yeah. Oh, and I'm gonna number my bills, Erin. I keep forgetting to do that. I'm going to number my complaints so they're easier to, identify. And no new complaints, 2 active ones. That's it.
Any questions? Alrighty, moving on to Senator Crawford, Chair of SOLO.
Hi guys, my committee met today at 7. We continued investigating the 2 complaints we have had in my committee, and we are continuing to do so. Yeah, that's it.
Any questions? Okay, moving on to President Walker's report. I'll come over. It's fine. Good talk.
Hi guys, so nice to see all of you after spring break. I hope you had an amazing spring break. We just have like 5 weeks left, so I hope we can finish off strong. I've been working on, oh my god, the first thing, the RSSW email. I just sent it out, I'm so sorry. It was supposed to be sent before break, but then no one told me that they didn't get it, so I just thought that you guys had gotten it until like yesterday, and someone was like, oh, like I didn't get it, and I was like, oh, you definitely should have. So yeah, if you or any of your friends aren't on there, just let me know, and I'll send it to you. But pretty much all you have to do is fill out the paperwork, bring it to that office, and I will be the signatory on your hours. So, and also there's a form on my involvement. I really want that to go, and I know it's something that people are probably putting their own money towards anyway. I'm still working with like the College of Nanotechnical Science Transition Board. That's pretty clear cut. I got information about their student organizations because we were talking about what the transition of that would look like, but there's only like 5 of them, and they only have like 5K total, so like regardless of what happens, it's not that much money to be worried about. Yeah, I think that's all. Oh, we have one interview for one of the empty positions right now. That's on Saturday, but there really hasn't been that many people who applied.
Is that a question? Go ahead.
Couple questions. Relating to the.
Can you pass it down, Luke? Thank you.
Relating to the CSNE transition, how would that work in terms of student body? Are we going to be inheriting their student body count as well?
We are, but it's like 60 kids. Like it's nothing.
We also haven't gotten that far yet. We're still planning meetings with their team over there to see what everyone would be comfortable with and what's actually feasible.
Just to follow up on scholarships, I noticed a post went out the other day regarding 2 of the scholarships. Third scholarship, the Memorial Scholarship, hasn't had any advertisement. What's going on with that?
Oh, someone else might speak about that. I wasn't in charge of those flyers that went out, so I don't know. No.
I don't run it, so.
In charge of the what? The textbook flyers? What are you thinking of like this? I couldn't speak on it, I guess.
I think he's talking about the Earl Miller.
Yeah.
The what?
The
So when the academic affairs director resigned, that was the thing that they left us with, and that was the fastest thing that we put up. If you have a little description that you want to send me, because I know that was created on your behalf, you can send me a description and we can get it over to the marketing director. Sorry, it's been a long day. Marketing director, and we can put that out. But based on like the kind of transitional binder that the director left, that was like the 2 biggest things because they the applications were released that same week, so that was like the first thing that was going on. But yeah, just send me the description and we could make that happen.
Question? Yes, Senator Crawford.
Just a few questions about the RSSW credit. First, how many hours are we eligible for?
So you can do up to 3, but there's just different requirements based on which like course that you take. Yeah.
And then last, how do we provide evidence? Because it says that we need picture evidence of stuff that we did earlier this semester.
Oh, not that. Moving forward, I mean, like, if you go and you help with the director's event, like, obviously I'm going to give credit to all of you guys for, I'll have to ask, I guess, someone in the Senate office how many hours of Senate we've technically had so far. They'll get credit for that. Like, I could ask, like, committee chairs how many meetings you've had and stuff like that. But, yeah. Honestly, you should put in how many committee meetings you went to by yourself on the board. I know some of you weren't going to all of them.
Any other questions? Yes.
Can you send the email to me? Cause I don't think I got it.
Okay. I definitely did write out your name, but I will check right now.
Yeah, people tend to think that it's so like it, but it's okay though. I'll hit you later. Yeah.
All right. Any other questions for President Walker? If not, moving on to Vice President Madrano. Eden, you have a microphone?
I was looking right now to see if I sent it.
Thank you.
Kind of ready to sweater myself up because I'm a little tired. But we do have a headliner for Park Fest. Woohoo! I'm looking at getting other artists for the show, but the official flyer will hopefully be released tomorrow with the approval of the artist. So shout out to Billy and all the work that he's been doing in terms of the media aspect. I'm also continuously working with Jen Anderson, Pam, and the IT department to figure out ticket sales and pricing tiering. The people that are spearing the tickets are currently not in the office, and they won't be till next week. So not the original date that I intended on putting out tickets, but really need that to happen so that people that pay the student activity fee are paying the price that they deserve. I've been working with Keon from programming. We have a program that's happening Tuesday, March 28th at 7. It is a roundtable discussion. We'll be redefining Women's History Month and focusing on looking at it through a more intersectional lens, where we approach systems of inequalities and groups that are impacted by that. So please pop out, come. It'll be a great discussion, a little bit of femme theory. So yeah, and then we have our first DippyCo budget meeting tomorrow. There aren't a lot of lines to go through, but there's a lot to discuss. But hopefully you'll be seeing me when I present the budget to you all in a few weeks. And then we've also been working on the student activity fee campaign. Shout out to Catherine, Nye, and Rody for helping us. It's been a lot of work, but we're very excited to put out what we have. I'm planning to get one-on-one meetings back up with directors to start talking about transitional fighters and really wrapping up anything that they have going on, as well as continuing filling out all the information that they need for advocacy that they want to continue throughout the next few years. And I've been doing a lot of poster printing, so I printed out the movie ticket posters to put out in the window. I want to get like a really nice DippyCo one to put up there, and all the scholarship ones I want to put in the window too, because some people don't have social media. You walk by the office, you see those, and yeah, that's what I've been working on.
Any questions? Seeing none, moving on to Chief of Staff. Can I have the microphone?
I got it.
I got it, you're eating.
Oh, I think
Alright, good evening everyone. I hope everyone had a fun and restful spring break. This week I've been working on reviewing directors' programs and setting up for next week's executive branch meeting. More to come next week.
Any questions? Moving on to executive assistant. Is there a report for them? Oh, sorry, I did not see you.
Hi everyone, I've just been updating and reviewing the email that was sent out earlier with President Walker, and those are all corrections.
Any questions? Okay, moving on to Director of Academic and Professional Affairs, no. Director of Civic Action.
Currently for the department, we had tabling today at the Go Desk from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. to discuss the student activity fee and the upcoming elections. The next event that we have slated is on the 28th of March in the Women's Resource Center. It's a partnership with the Women's Resource Center. We'll be watching on the basis of sex, as well as having a discussion directly after that. Upcoming events after that would be yep, that's all we have for right now.
Any questions?
Can I have? You can say no, I can just text her.
Yeah. Any questions for the Director of Civic Action? Okay, thank you. Moving on to Director of Communications.
Hello everyone. Today our department had our PJs and Pillow Talk program with Project Shade.